What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 6, Episode 11. So in this one, the team analyzes the ceramic material. They do a bunch of tests, see what it is, and basically they then have to figure out what to do, like as far as future investigations. So obviously trying to figure out how they're gonna focus on the mesa in the future. I'm like to just get some dynamite. That's my opinion. To blow up the mesa. Not literally blow it up like nuke it. No, just like, get some dynamite, get some like explosives. Blow part of it up. That's what I would. That's what I would do. You know, I mean it's private property. You know, as far as safety issues, I'm sure a lot of those precautions are in place. But yeah, I thought this was a decent episode. Liked it. Looking forward to the next one. Reborn as a vending machine, I now wander the dungeons, season 2, episode 7. So, in this one, Boxo, Director Bear, and Lulimi are stuck in the labyrinth stratum. So basically, like Kiryu like tampered with the transfer circle, so they're not able to control it. So then the three of them head towards the Hunters Association building, and they tell the manager what's happening. Basically, in order to fix the transfer circle, they need a magic stone. So Boxo and Director Bear then go into the labyrinth to find one. They find this young girl who has these two monsters with her as companions, and they save them from these other monsters. Then they meet the girl whose name is Kikoyu, and she named their monsters Botan and Kuroyana. Basically, Kikoyu is able to hide her presence and can read people's thoughts by touching them. So basically, the monsters with her, they're her protectors, not necessarily her pets. Basically, Kikoyu mentions like her past. Basically, there's like some sentient field called Field that Kikoyu knows that could be related to Boxo due to and then basically, so and Kikoyu then carries a piece of him that can store food. So apparently, since Boxos, was reincarnated from the world, Boxos suspects that, Field could be the same way. A talking field. So Kikoyu really likes the food that Boxo sells, and Bear thinks that Kikoyu is a snow child. Basically explains that snow children, they're a species that they're nearly extinct. Basically, that if you cut their head off before you reach adulthood, they'll turn into ice statues that can remove curses. So they decide to protect Kikoyu from Kiryu, who would want to use Kikoyu to cut her head off in order to heal her son. Understandable, still messed up. I would not recommend cutting someone's head off just to remove a curse. It's not an execution. No, it's not self-defense. Yeah, but then so apparently the piece of field that Kikoyu has with her, it can't leave the labyrinth since there's monsters inside the labyrinth. So Boxel uses barrier to basically disrupt the labyrinth's barrier and allows Kikoyu to pass through with it. So then all of them start searching for the lava field to get this magic stone. Now Kikoyu and Boxo they start competing over who provides more food. Then they defeat this lava fiend with the help of Lamis, who she ended up in Clear Flow Lake Strom. She found her way to the Strom using she used Hulami's magic items to bust through the dungeon floors. Everyone else is pissed off about her recklessness, but they're glad to be reunited with her. So yeah, so that ends this. That's the end of the episode. So yeah, I really like this episode. Like how they introduce Kikoyu. Interesting what goes on with her and with Field to see if Field is another reincarnated soul. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Clevatess, episode 7. So in this one, Nay is trying to determine if Luna is part of the royal family by giving him magic candy. Basically, it's like if he lives, he's definitely a royal. So yeah, Then Neluru saves Luna, and then them and Alicia escape. With Alicia trying to escape Maynard's giant bugs because Maynard was trying to keep her from interfering. So the three of them escape, and then since Maynard recognizes Alicia, you know, so he and they decide to get the townsfolk and convince them to hunt down Alicia. So yeah, that's basically how they do it. So yeah, and then while this is going on, Dorel and Rod are still fighting. Dorel defeats Rod, but decides to spare him. Then Glinda rides on the battlefield. Asks Dorel about the kidnappings of human and monster infants. Clinton does then Clinton stabs Dorel, but Dorel uses a spell to trap him in a prison and transfers his soul to his sword. So Alicia, Nelru, and Luna are now being hunted by townsfolk and Maynard. Yeah, so I really like this. It looks like Clinton's gonna be out commission for a little bit, and then we'll see how some of the basically Clint's associates do without him. Backing them up. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. New Saga, episode 7. So in this one, Kyle's group arrives at Karan, and basically the Gargan Empire's already sent people there. So Kyle meets uh, Ambassador Miranda of Molina, who he knows from the future. So he recognizes her. Yeah. So Gargon's court sorcerer, whose name is Alzar, is revealed to be a classmate of Kyle's mother. He and Miranda obviously do not like each other. Now, Bax, who is Karin's governor, is allegedly too ill to see anyone. So Miranda tries to have him be replaced. She tries to get this dwarf blacksmith at Gazis to become the new governor, but Gazis says no because he's not interested in it. So Theron, who had gone on by himself, saves this what he thinks is a girl, so named Go, from all these thugs, but learns that Go is actually a boy who just looks and sounds very feminine. So Go is revealed to be a magic item artificer. Basically, the thugs were trying to get an investment their boss made in Go's invention, not knowing that the project was going to take 10 years. Yeah. So it's revealed that Go was Gaz's stepson. Theron had the reason he had helped defeat them. First, once he learned Go was a boy, he asked Go if he had a sister that looked like him. Go said he has an older one that does. So Theron's like, all right. Then he's like, I want to introduce me to your sister, and then Go's like, oh yeah, she's already married. So Theron is just pissed off. He's like, "Dance," but go invites Theron for tea at his house. So yeah, so Kyle sees Go's notes and recognizes a golem that Go is trying to recreate. It's real that the Gargan Empire had these golems late in the Great Invasion that they use against the demons. Then, so Kyle gets Go enough money to finish the golem within a year, just so that basically he believes that Gargon should, with their Gargon's technology, Gargon would be good allies, but he doesn't want to give them too much, or else there'll be a war between the kingdoms. And that, yeah. Then if there's a war between the kingdoms, that would give a lot of you know, basically like there would be like before the demons arrive, humans would already killed a bunch of each other off. So and basically so Theron asks Gazis to create a sword similar to Sidonia, but Gazis recognizes that it's a Zarl sword, says that he can't freaking replicate something that good, but he's seen one other. So yeah, so basically Go's going to be able to complete the golem within a year, hopefully. And then, but when things go wrong, so Kyle's invited by Alzar, to lunch. Basically, Alzar wants to talk with the son of like, his friend, like the son of his friend, and Miranda's invited as well. When they arrive, they see Alzar had been murdered by a female demon. Kyle is pissed off, like he recognizes that it's a demon. So yeah, I really like this. It's interesting what's going to happen with the demons. Like, is this like just part of the lead up to like the invasion that were they already having scouts and spies going around doing stuff to prepare for it? So yeah, I that'd be interesting to see. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Rise of the Shield Hero, Season 4, Episode 6. So in this one, so basically Nalphami's group has arrived back into the kingdom, and so basically it's revealed that, most people could probably guess that Trash had some connection with Fallen Atla. It's real that Trash's sister, Lucia, was the mother of Fallen Atla. And that's why he like had such an emotional connection to them. So, basically he's happy with, spending time with them and eating some of the cooking that Atla learned from his, you know, from her mother, you know, Trash's sister. And so, then now he's preparing to go to Q10, Q10 Low, and then so as far as the party, a lot of the major party members are done. Now there's a funny thing where that Keel is a girl, and so basically a maid outfit's made for her. And I guess it attracts a lot of attention, which Nalfi sees as dollar signs. So Nalfi's like, hey, use your maid outfit to make us money. And then, there's whole Nalfi is still ignoring what Vittoria's doing. He's delaying it. And then, then basically, now he decides, from the partner. So Itsuki and Rishia are going to Kutenla with Alchemy. So, and Rand, who has done a lot for the village, is gonna help lead the village while Alchemy's away. And then Galen, the dragon, is like, so Galen's coming along because there's a water dragon in Kutenla, so Galen would be able to sense it. It'd be nice to know where dragons are. And yeah, so basically, like, so a lot of major party members are still around. And, basically the ship's attacked. Then there's this whole storm. So now for me and Raftelia are sucked into a whirlpool. And basically the reason is because the water dragon wants Raftelia to fulfill her clan's duty and reform the nation. So the nation is basically against controlling the cardinal weapons. So the rest of the party won't be able to get there until you know they deal with all that. So the only people who are inside are Nalphamy, Sedina, Raftalia, and Galeon. So yeah, hmm, yeah, so Galeon is talking and is able to listen to stuff. So yeah, so I think that this could be an interesting arc. Hopefully, I mean, nice to see what's happened with Itsuki and Rin, how they've developed. You know, and yeah, so look, I think everyone expected Trash to be related to Full and Atla. I think everyone was expecting that. Yeah, overall, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Hell Teacher Noob 2025, Episode 7. So in this one, there's snow outside, and it's revealed that a Yukiana named Yukine has arrived. Basically, is someone who Noob met 5 years before, saved from someone trying to shoot her. And, basically, Yukiana's turn people into ice. Like that, like, basically, that, I mean, they do. Like, whenever, like, I guess if a Yukiana wants to marry a human, basically the human gets turned to ice. So, now in the case, well, it's funny, right before she walks through the classroom, some of the students were making jokes how Noob has it's not really had good luck with the Ritsuki, the very attractive teacher. Man. So yeah, then they're all shocked to hear Yukine calls herself Noob's fiance. They're very shocked to hear that. So basically, Yukine takes Noob outside the school to talk. The students follow to basically spy on them, and then basically so Yukine says the only way they could be there is if she turns Noob into ice, and she wants to make a world of ice for them. And that threatens students. So Noob's like, so- and basically he like summons his demon hand. He tells her, "Hey, I don't want to fight you, but if you threaten my students, I will kill you." That's basically how he puts it. So Yukine decides to stand down. She's moved by how the students care for Noob. Then she kisses Noob and leaves. Yeah. Then this is like so yeah, I thought this was a very funny episode. Now, so there's some funny so Noob basically when the whole date stuff he was trying to since Yuki on this don't like he kept trying to do a bunch of heat. So sauna, a bunch of really hot ramen food. So basically wanted the heat to drive Yukine away, but she kept freezing everything, which was so funny. I thought that was great. Like I thought that was so funny. And the whole concert thing, she like froze everyone at a concert. Then, well, so technically, yeah. So when Nube met Yukine, she was a Yukinko, so she was like like a kid version. So he was basically just being a nice guy, and it was so funny. So this episode was freaking hilarious. And then it's funny how Noob gets frozen at the end. It's like, wait, what? Like I thought that was freaking hilarious. Like, dude, holy frick! Like I thought it was a great episode. Really like this episode. I'm looking forward to the next one. Alien Earth episodes 1 through 2. So in 2120, there are 5 companies that control Earth and the solar system, including a company that was recently founded called the Prodigy Corporation. So a while is it going? A Weyland Yutani C-class deep space research vessel called the USCSS Magano is approaching Earth after a 65-year expedition to get alien specimens, including facehuggers. Now, on Earth, Prodigy's uh, basically is a research island called Neverland, where there's a sick child named Marcy Hermit, like basically terminally ill. Will definitely die. Basically, she becomes like a hybrid, so her consciousness is transferred into a synthetic and adult body. So she's a child being given an adult synthetic body. Basically, the reason this stylish is that, well, she'll quote grow into the body, and since synthetics don't age, they don't let her stay a kid, or failing guess they let her stay a kid forever. So Marcy changes her name to Wendy. So Wendy, I guess, is helped out by a synthetic mentor named Kirsch. So then there's other children that go through the same procedure. Now, while the Magano is getting to Earth, a malfunction happens in navigation, and it gets on a collision course with Earth, and specimens get loose, and a xenomorph kills most of the crew. You know, so the ship crashes in Prodigy City in New Siam, which is basically Thailand. So Wendy has a human brother named Joe, who's a medic and corporate soldier there, and the CEO of Prodigy, Boy Cavalier, looks at the Magano's content, basically says that the Magano belongs to Prodigy. And Kirsch, Wendy, and all the other hybrids, they're sent with search and rescue as like a test. And then, Moro, the security officer in the Magano, survived the crash by going to a panic room. Basically, tries to protect the cargo, captures 2 Prodigy soldiers, who are then killed by some leech thing. And Wendy tells Curse that she wants to save her brother from death. So, well, then Cavalier tells Dame Sylvia that the reason the hybrid project was formed was to go compete with AI. Basically, Wendy's got into different various abilities as he wishes to. He wants someone to be smarter than him, and he declined Wayne Utani's request to get the secure like the Magano's contents that, let's say, Wayne Utani did not want out there. Some very proprietary stuff, some very secret stuff, because he believes that any action on his territory will be taken as hostile. Like that's the warning he gives. Now Hermit is chased by a xenomorph, and he's separated from everyone. So the xenomorph is like tracking him, kills him, like kills a soldier, then a bunch of residents who didn't want to evacuate. Now Moro saves him, who basically hazes him, and the xenomorph is able to regain conscious and get escapes after killing some soldiers. So Moro lives. Then, so bunch of these hybrids named Toodles, Smee, Nibs, and Curly arrive in Prodigy City. They find two other aliens. Then Wendy finds her brother and with a hybrid named Slightly, but you know Joe doesn't recognize her, because she's in a different body. Yeah. Then Slightly tells Joe who she is, who Wendy is. Hermit is shocked about that. Then three of them find xenomorph eggs, and they're told by Kirsch to contain them till a hazmat team gets there. Now, the xenomorph drags away Hermit, and Wendy decides to chase after, like, the xenomorph. So, yeah, as far as these episodes, I mean, so there's some interesting premise here with, obviously, look, Weyland Yutani is one of the most retarded companies in all science fiction. One of the common recurring themes is that they basically are always in over their head trying to do something with the xenomorph and like trying to use their DNA you know, to basically make humanity better. And of course, all their stuff with you know, with the synthetics, with the androids. So, yeah. Now, there are some questions as far as, since this is before the original movie, there are some questions like, okay, so you had the synthetics that we see. We have all the synthetics throughout the series, throughout the movies. They're they're not made from humans. They're robots. Some of them they're all logic based. Now some do come to different conclusions. Some more ruthless. Some more uh let's say good. You know, like you had the two Fastbender androids in Covenant. How they had very different like conclusions based on their logic processors. So yeah, I mean there's some interesting stuff to introduce here. I mean, so well, I was like I wasn't really interested. I hope that I'm interested by future episodes, but as far as this show is concerned, it's like whatever. Like okay, so the it's like this is meant to be, it's alien, you have the xenomorph hunting people. Okay. Now, so I don't know how long Ellen Ripley is in space in the movies. Like in the first movie, I don't think it's ever stated anywhere how long she was in space before the first movie. So it is possible that her crew was on Earth during this, so they had no idea what happened on Earth. That's a very high possibility. Now, there's a lot of stuff like, and there's some issues. So if this is like it's the whole synthetic. If this was a newer program that developed while the rest were in space, okay, and basically they were all in hibernation order before it got to them. Okay, now it's more so aliens, like the sequels where it causes. So it's like, okay, what happened? Why are the synthetics not human? No, I'm guessing they're going to explain. My guess is if there's an explanation, it's probably, yeah, putting biological consciousness into an android goes badly. I'm guessing that something like that. But yeah, and also it was weird putting the kid's consciousness into an adult body. That there is just something weird about that. But you know, I think there's something you can make out of this. Wasn't too interested, but I think this could be good, and I hope it is good. So yeah, I'll watch the next episode, see what happens. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.